So I was looking back on my old videos. I realized there was this one very important topic that I didn't really touch on a lot, and I kind of just glossed over in my video about how to get 1% better every day, which was that topic of consistency that I kind of put in an analogy in the beginning, but I didn't really I didn't go into depth about it. And I realized it's very important because a lot of especially in school, I've realized in school, a lot of the reason that kids don't really care about school is because they don't see why to do things. Like they don't see the reason that they're doing algebra 2 when they're never really going to have to do that in a regular day of life. And excuse me, it was a lot of the same for me, you know? In school a lot, I would hate it because I'd be like, I don't need this. It's stupid, pointless, all those words, you know? And I never really realized what was important about school, and it made school a lot harder. And I figure that this happens with teenagers on self-improvement too. They don't see the real importance behind some of the things that I'm talking about, and it makes it harder for them to do it. They don't end up doing it because they don't think it's going to help them too much. There's a lot of reasons that you wouldn't do something, and I just want to explain right now why consistency is so important. Not exactly how much, how to be consistent, how to stay consistent, everything like that. That's a different video I have up on my channel actually. But I want to explain here why consistency is so important, because I feel like it's very important for especially teenagers to know why they are doing something, especially when someone else tells them to do it and it's not by their own volition. So I really just want to make sure, clear the air, make sure that everybody knows why consistency is so important. All right. So everybody is going to have breakthrough days where, they've been working a long time and maybe they finally hit their new PR on the bench press. Or maybe they finally hit their goal of losing 5 pounds over the month. But the thing is, it's not that one day that made the difference. Like for the PR example, maybe your original PR was 200 pounds and you got up to 205 on the bench press. Well, that's great, but maybe you PR'd last 2 months ago. So it's not just that one day where you were there pushing the weight as hard as you can, getting it up. That was not the day when you really hit that 205 bench press. It was all those days before that bench press, those days where you were still in the gym, where you were still working out chest, doing heavier and heavier loads of bench presses to hit that new PR. Because there's no way you're ever going to get a new personal record by sitting on your couch and saying, oh, I really hope that I can do a better bench press today, because that's not how it works. You need to be working every day because that's how your muscles grow. Your muscles don't grow by doing one 5-hour workout in a month and then suddenly you have, the biggest biceps in the world. That's not how it works. It takes months, maybe even years to grow muscles because they need to be trained every day and they need to be consistently used so that the muscles are grown out of the need to have more strength and muscle. So we need to apply that to almost everything we do in this world because like I said in the last video, you know, I think it was a lumberjack. It was a lumberjack, yes. Um, the lumberjack might take 100 swings to knock down the tree, but any smart person knows that it wasn't the 100 swing that knocked down the tree. It was the 99 that came before, weakening a tree, chopping him just a little bit further each time so that last swing can hit the tree. And if this lumberjack had just done one, huge swing, he wouldn't have gotten very far with the tree because, well, the axe would be in the tree, yes. Maybe it went a little bit further than if he had done the smaller swings, but now maybe he's all tired because he used all his energy on that one swing. The thing about getting consistent is you need to find a place that is manageable for you because consistency doesn't work if you cannot be consistent. if you want to work out for 2 hours every day, but maybe you only have an hour of free time, how is that possible? You need to find something that works for you, but still challenges you. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in a loop of having these big days and then doing nothing for a while. And that might bring you up a little bit more than if you just did one pretty good day. But then those next days are just going to kind of trail off. While if you had the pretty good days, you keep be going up. So the real like thing with consistency is that you need to make sure that you are staying consistent, because if you don't stay consistent, if you're doing one workout a week or one workout whenever you feel like it, you're never gonna grow, because your muscles are gonna have one workout a week, not enough. You need to make sure that every day you are staying consistent. Otherwise, you're just gonna be like that lumberjack. You're gonna take one big swing and then you're gonna have to huff and puff and then take another big swing. And in the end, you have taken maybe 5 hours to knock down the tree when it may have only taken you two if you had just kept swinging consistent. It's the same thing with school as well. We don't learn everything we knew in school from one day of breakthrough. Like, we don't know how to do quadratic equations if you're in high school. Just by that one day, our teacher telling us, oh, this is how you do quadratic equations. It goes all the way back to elementary school when you first learned addition, and then to like fourth or fifth grade when you learned multiplication, then to maybe sixth or seventh when you learned how to solve for x, and maybe even like ninth grade when maybe quadratic equations were introduced to you, and then maybe in 10th grade you finally understood them. So you see, even with our mind, it takes us a long time to get something because we need to build up to it. We can't just learn everything in one day, and it goes out throughout life. This entire channel is based, it is literally like the groundwork of this channel is making slow but consistent progress, because I've found that that is the best progress for people to make, because it allows them to, one, see their progress because it's very consistent and they can see, oh, I'm still getting better. And two, the fact that it's slower and not as rushed. Like, this channel is not rushed. I don't care if it takes you a year to figure out what can being consistent is good, as long as you do. Because if I shove this onto you, you know, you're gonna be more likely to quit if I make it feel like you have to do this now. This self-improvement journey is literally called self-improvement. It's not my job to improve you. I need you to figure out why what I'm saying is so important and then apply it to your life. It's not my job to improve you. It's your job to improve. That's why it's called self-improvement. And I'm just here to give you the wisdom on how to improve yourself. Just like in school, it's not your teacher's job that you have bad grades. It's your teacher's job to teach you, but it's your job to apply what they taught you. And it's your job to study, to focus, and to get those good grades. It's the same thing here. It's not my job to improve you. Right now, it is my job to teach you how to improve yourself, and then you to apply that knowledge to yourself. That is all hands off for me, though. You have to do this on your own. So even if this takes you 6, 7 months to learn, oh, what he was saying was true here. If you do learn eventually that I was right and that you need to start getting consistent, and it's really important that you do, I've already won, because I've got someone on self improvement. Because that maybe half a year when you were, like, he's BSing anyways. Well, what if you live to 100 years old? Well, that half a year is 0.5% of your life. That's almost nothing compared to everything after that, because maybe you figure it out when you're 20 years old. So so that 0.5% of your life, when I told you and you figured it out, is nothing compared to the 80% of your life when you understand that concept. And that's how my whole channel is built. Because men, especially men of character, aren't built in one day. We are built slowly over time by overcoming hardship, by building ourselves up through mind, body, soul, everything like that. And learning all that the world has to offer us and all that everybody has to offer us, by listening to the people older than us, by taking advice from the people younger than us that might understand the modern world more than we do, by going and finding someone that you trust to console in and to talk your problems with that can help you fix them. Everything like that. It takes years to do all of this. It takes years to find good friends. And that's what self improvement is supposed to be. It's not one big 5 hour workout breakthrough. It's being in the gym for 30 minutes every day consistently. And then finally, breaking through and figuring out, oh, wow, my muscles are getting big. It's being, on your couch, legs crossed, meditating every day and slowly but surely clearing those anxious thoughts out of your mind. That's what consistency really is. It might seem like it's just one breakthrough, but no, you're just getting just that 0.1% better every day. And it starts to add up very, very quickly until you get exponentially better. And even if it seems so hard to, oh my gosh, it's been 3 months and my muscles haven't gotten any bigger. They have, trust me. If you've been working out every day for 3 months, your muscles have gotten bigger, trust me. And, you're in that time where progress is very slow because your 0.1% is very little. But once you start to break through that valley of death that I call it, where you have no motivation and it starts to go up, it goes up quick. And that is really when consistency helps. Because that consistency in that time where you were making almost no progress will be that time when you finally realize, oh, well, everything that I've done now is like, this is why I'm here today. This little part where I was down rock bottom is why I'm here. And I'm gonna go back to that bench story actually, because that 205 bench is not just the work you put in from that last bench. That 205 bench is from the first day you saw that first gym video and you decided, I'm gonna go to the gym. To that first time you ever did a bench press, to that first time you ever learned about progressively overloading, that first time you ever tried a 1 rep max, to that first time you pushed up the weight even more, all the way to here. That consistent of the benching every week, maybe every week. And then that's what led up to that 205 bench. It wasn't that one day you did the 205 bench. It wasn't that 1 month where you were preparing for it. It wasn't even that 6 months when you were doing 1 rep maxes. It was then that first day you saw self improvement, because every day since you first started benching is what led up to that 205 max, because that was just getting your chest stronger every single week, every single month, every single year. And that's what life needs to be like. We need to make sure that everything we are doing is for something. And even if we can't see it right now, like I'm sure a lot of people would not think that, starting benching got them here. That is really what we need to do. We need to see the future. We need to know even this little bit of movement towards this end goal is going to help me so much in the future, because that little bit of movement every day gets closer and closer and closer. But if you try big movements, you have this one day, big movement forward, and then you're tired for a while. And then again, and then you stop again. So we really need to make sure that consistency is our number one goal, not having these huge breakthroughs. All right. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. See you guys later. Bye bye.